What's up, y'all? What's up? Yes, up. What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? God bless y'all. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure something out. Make sure I'm set to go. Yeah, God bless everybody. God bless everybody. Welcome in on this live. Um, on this beautiful Friday. Welcome to Freestyle Friday. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to mess around with some stuff as people start to come in. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed, wonderful day. Hopefully, y'all having a beautiful one. And it is what it is. Of course, as we get to the end of the week and we look at all that's happened, and then we find ourselves saying to ourselves, you just can't make this stuff up. The Democratic Party just don't quit. They don't quit. I'm watching videos of just they still losing their mind. The liberals, Democratic Party, and I just wonder why none of these Democrats don't think it's necessary to speak against the stuff that these people are doing. But this goes to show you how evil they are. It goes to show you how corrupt they are. And they so used to taking American citizens' money that they feel as though that should not stop. They feel as though it shouldn't stop. There's a big difference between the people that live in Democratic ran cities and towns and stuff, and the politicians, how much wealth they have gained from them. Meanwhile, they're still trying to tax the crap out of the citizens in their areas. Case in point, Philadelphia, viciously always coming after the poor. Viciously. The ones that are poor, and when I say like poor, I also mean like people that are just on the edge of just trying to make it middle class. Philadelphia is amongst those other Democratic ran cities that think that keep taxing people out of the just relentlessly keep taxing. And the sad part is people are going to keep still voting for these type of people. Their answer to everything is tax more people. Tax more people. Put more taxes on them. Let's just keep taxing them. And then tax again. And then tax again. Like at no point do you realize that this is how detrimental this is going to be for people that work every single day? And these Democrats wondering why people are bailing out. What's up, Simba? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. But these people wonder why. Yo, I guess I'm saying that right. Garcia, how you doing, man? God bless you. God bless you. These people wonder why their cities and their towns are the way they are. They just relentlessly keep taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing and taxing. That's what they're doing. What's up, the bros? God bless you. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. And this is Word Up. How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, if y'all, Simba. And I wish they could cut it by 80%. That would be beautiful. But I mean, that it's a good part. We don't know how far they're gonna go. But my thing is this: is that again, the Democrats, and I don't care where you live at in this country, but if you live in a place where Democrats running, you better be more careful about who you vote for. Because like I said before, Philadelphia, city of Philadelphia is one of those places. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Appreciate it. Philadelphia is one of those cities, and Maryland, if you look, Maryland, they just keep on taxing their citizens. Christopher Real, how you doing? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. And they just keep taxing you and taxing you and taxing you out the game. And you know what they listen? Because people's lives are so complicated sometimes. They work, 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 work. They don't even know where these meetings are happening at. They have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. They voting and trusting that the people that they elected are doing the right thing by the citizens, knowing far going well how many times you gonna keep doing that. And that's real talk. How many times you gonna keep voting for them and thinking that they're gonna do something right by the citizens, besides slap more taxes on them? And they go and when I say how they do it so slickly, They'll take one little stupid thing that doesn't need, and they'll make something small, and not that it isn't a problem, but they'll take a small problem and blow it up into a big situation to make it look like it's large as day, so that they can pull it off legally, so they can get people to embrace it, and the next thing you know, they done made it into a rule. Now here's my point: in the city of Philadelphia, we have what they call a sugar tax, right? And I kid you not, I remember when they was doing it was a whole big controversy. They tax sugary drinks in the city of Philadelphia. Here's my point: like and they don't tax it. Yeah, thanks. They both farm open too. I appreciate it. They don't even tax it. Yeah, they don't even tax it by the bottle. Like in the city of Philadelphia, they don't tax it. Like if I go to buy this and it was a sugary drink, let's just say some type of sugary drink, they won't tax it by the bottle. They tax it by the ounce. So if it's a 16-ounce bottle, then I have to pay like it's like 3%, some weird stupid number per ounce. This is what they did. And then what ended up happening is a lot of people in the city of Philadelphia start going into the surrounding counties to buy their sugary drinks like soda and juices and stuff like that. This is what they did. Now you can't tell me that that is not tyranny. But yet, the people in the city of Philadelphia will still go vote for these type of Democrats and keep on thinking that this is okay, and it's not. And when you go to these other towns, like Maryland, who's just passed their budget, and once again, slapping a bunch of more taxes on the citizens. Meanwhile, y'all got crime running off the roof. None of what y'all doing has been working, and everything in your towns are getting better. You look at Los Angeles, California, and you see the homelessness. You look at the city of Philadelphia, you see the homelessness. You look at Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, you see the homelessness. And all of these cities that keeps doing this stuff, no one's paying attention to how detrimental it's becoming. And when it gets to the point where and what happens is the better part of the city, the better people, the working class citizens, you know what they do? When they get a little bit of money, they get out. I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm gone. So now you left with more criminals and less honest citizens because you made it so they can't even afford to stay. And then they wondering why Florida has money left over from the federal government that they're trying to give back to the government. And you wonder why Florida is so successful, but yet these other cities are still struggling trying to make a budget. Yes. And gasoline the same. And this is what I mean by taxes. And what people don't pay attention to, Garcia, and this is what point that we're trying to make here about taxes, and is that they charge you gasoline price. Like you said, Garcia, every gallon of gas they tax. So that's the same way the city of Philadelphia did the sugary drinks. They didn't do it by the bottle. They did it by the ounce. Now, if you're working, and let's say you got, two or three kids, and what you trying to force them all to just drink water? Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yes, they should have. I don't care. Like most of my family, Eagles fan. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm not an Eagles. I mean, I would have hoped for them to win the Super Bowl when my Steelers ain't there because I'm a Steelers fan. But yeah, I feel the same way about the Eagles. Like I don't. At this point, when they did that, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I don't care. I hope they never win another Super Bowl. And that's just where I'm at with it. I don't care how any Eagles fans feel about it. That's how I feel. If you want to be that disrespectful, it is what it is. That's what it is. What it is. I just feel like I don't care if you don't like the president. Respect is respect. Y'all would have did it for any other person up there. You should have did it for him too. Because Joe Biden is about as racist as they come. But if Joe Biden would have asked him to come to the White House, they would have went. And that's real talk. And that's where I got a problem with that. If Joe Biden, with his racist self, would have actually invited him to the White House, they trifling behinds would have went. And I don't care how any Eagles fan feel about it. That's where I'm at with it. I know they're like, oh, that's my team, whatever. But I don't care. I don't care. It was disrespectful and they don't like it. It is what it is. But let's move on. But anyway, again, they keep taxing. So you paying all these taxes on your gas. Gas, like Garcia said, every time you go to pump your gas, every gallon of gas is taxed. Now you go to the store and buy groceries in the city of Philadelphia. Leah, how you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, I know you probably saw that I got your email, and at some point we're gonna get the, we're gonna work that out. But yeah, and at some point you gotta look at this at the level of taxes that you're paying. See what they call it's called like a hidden tax. That's what they call it, a hidden tax, even though it ain't really hidden, but it's still a hidden tax. So you paying all these taxes on the fuel that you use to gas your car. Every gallon is taxed, right? All right, you go buy your food, that's get taxed. In the city of Philadelphia, like I said, with the sugary tax on the soda drinks, that's taxed per ounce, which is ridiculous. So you going there paying another 30 to 40% for a soda just because of the taxes. Because they hitting it by the ounce. So let's say it's 3 cents an ounce that they taxing it, right? You go get a 20-ounce soda. That's 20 times 3. So now you're paying 60 to 70 cents more for a soda. This is a ridiculousness with the city of Philadelphia as opposed to tax. And they say, oh, it'll be for the schools. Meanwhile, city of Philadelphia is still shutting down schools. It don't even. This is the stupidest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, you know what, guys? I think I did see it, but you know what happens with that is when I was trying to find Leah, I had to go to the spam because you know how Google is; it'll just spam everybody or whatever. So I had to go to her spam, but I'm gonna go back and look. But I know I had something from you, but I was so busy looking for something else, I didn't never go back, and my mind just got caught up in that. But I ain't forget you, bro. I ain't forget you. If you get a chance, Garcia, send another one. What's up, Giga Chat? There you go. Ain't gonna never happen over here. You order? Oh, we got the trolls in here now. Yeah, it's again, and they keep on slapping more tax, and that's why I tell people. Well, you know how we handle trolls. It's the Democratic Party that keeps trying to tax their citizens out the game, but they'll still stand up there and act like they care about their citizens. And here's the crazy part: the citizens will still vote for them. They'll still vote Democrat, right? Never paying attention to how financially devastating it's getting to your community. That's why a lot of these businesses don't want no parts of them. What's up, Jason? How you doing? You know, hey, Jason, I've heard people. I mean, I've had people ask me about that, and I've tossed the thought about running to some type of capacity, politically wise. I still doing my own homework of learning more about politics as I go. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know a lot, but I also feel as though there's a lot more I need to know before I make some type of conscious decision like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm about the people. That's it. Like, if I can find a way, like, don't get me wrong, it costs money to run these elections. But don't get me wrong, as I'm doing this, and as my channel grows, and as I get become a little more popular and popular, I'm going to consider that. And it is not off the table by any means. It is not off the table. And if I ever get to that point, I will let y'all know that I'm running for some type of office. Top to bottom, hair and skincare. I'm trying to wait this time. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Listen, top to bottom, I'm glad you on this live, right? All right, so I'm coming in the house yesterday. Yesterday, I think it was. And I get to my front door and I can smell that candle burning. Somebody couldn't wait. They lit the candle. I ain't mentioned nothing else, but they couldn't wait. They went and lit the candle. I walk up now. Don't get me wrong. That candle was easily about 12 feet from the front door. I did not put the key in the door. I was on the porch. I smelt it outside. That's how quality that candle was. That's how great a quality that candle. I'm not saying this as a plug for anybody, but I'm just letting her know that that candle. I came outside. I wasn't even in the house. I was on my porch, and I was like, candles. I can smell it out here. Got in the house. It was lit, and you can smell it. The whole house for the most part had that scent from that one small candle that she had gave me. So I don't know if y'all in the candles are like that, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like the quality of what she did and how well that candle was and how much aroma was around the house. You would have thought that I had candles everywhere in this house, and I kid you not. And that was a mini one. You're right, it was a mini one. I smelled it through my whole house, and because you know how heat rises or whatever, the scent. When I came upstairs, I smelled it even more, and it was downstairs. And I'm listen, I'm not exaggerating. So if you guys, I mean, she got other product, but the candle is the thing that she had sent me because I want. And when I say that candle was off the roof, and the candles, I can't go get it because it's downstairs and it's probably lit again. But I don't. I'm probably gonna light it again. But it's only about that. The jar is about that big, and it's only about that diameter round wise. And when I say that candle was immaculately smelling the whole room. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm getting ready to make some other purchases. I just had to figure. I had to go back. I was on the website yesterday trying to figure out what I want, but you know how they get tired and stuff. I said I got to figure out. But I'm getting ready to make some purchases, some stuff that I actually want off her site. But the candle was off the roof. I ain't gonna lie. When I say it smelled through my whole house, it smelled through my whole house. But yeah, so I want to thank you again, top to bottom, hair and skincare. I really appreciate that candle and. When I say it was, if I would have spent, if let's say you'd have bought a little candle like that, and let's say you spent $15, $20 for the candle, you probably would have been like, man, that's a lot of money for a candle. But when you light the candle in your whole house, you're gonna forget about the money. You're gonna be like, you know what? That was money well spent. You can light candles and get your whole house smelling that strong. Like, and it wasn't weak scent, like faint or nothing like that. It was like I didn't have to walk to the candle. It was the aroma was traveled through the whole house. So to me, when I say if I would have purchased that candle, I would have been happy, very, very happy and satisfied with that purchase, even if it would have cost me a little more than I would have probably went to a store and bought. I'd have said it was well worth it because I would have to probably go buy 4 or 5 candles and lay them all around the house to get what I was getting out of that one. And I'm not exaggerating. And I'm not exaggerating it, and that's real talk. I'm not even exaggerating. And so like I said, I just appreciate it. Like I said, it smelled, and the scent was gingerbread, but it went through my whole house. Yeah, I know. I'm not. I did all of that, and I made sure I don't cover it with the lid because it's cork or whatever. I had to blow it out and then put the lid on. And once I let it sit and the little smoke stuff and all that stuff, and then once it's good and out, then I put the lid back on top of it. But yeah, it was like I said, it's an extremely good quality candle. And like I said, she just gave they was giving out they gave a mini one. So I can only imagine if you buy like a bigger one or whatever case may be. But it would have been money well spent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, I like scents that smell like food. Like I like cake pies and those type of scents, vanilla. Anything like that type of scents. That's the stuff that I like. So it was like as soon as I walked to the door, I got hungry. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about candles. I ain't gonna top to bottom. I'm be honest. I have zero knowledge of I know how they made and stuff like that, but I don't know a lot of those type of fine details. But because I had somebody that was actually making them, but I don't know all the fine details. But I can tell you this much: that candle you gave me was probably one of the best candles I've ever seen. Like I've never seen nothing smell like. You know what? I used to have one of those. I got from a Muslim store where you get you. It was an electric one that you plug in and you put the scent on top like that, and it melts down the scent inside the oils inside there. And that's what I used to use with my old where I used to live at before. It was like an electric one, you plug it in, it heats up the oil. And that was pretty strong. But I would have to, it was like a $30, $35 oil thing, and you had to keep buying them whatever different scents and put them in there. Yeah, oil burner. And when I say that was, in my thought, that was probably better than the oil burner. And if not on the same level as an oil burner, it was about as good as an oil burner. Because I'm telling you, it went through the whole house. It went through the whole house. That little mini candle went through my whole house. And that's real talk. But yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. But again, back to the when we was just talking about tax or whatever. I mean now, and this is what I mean about how taxes, when you live in cities that keeps taxing every little thing. And when I say taxes, I don't mean, what they took out of your paycheck. That's just part of it. Because you got federal tax, Medicare, then you got, if you live in certain towns, they got like City of Philadelphia has the city wage tax. Like they tax your wages. So I don't know every town where you live, but in the city of Philadelphia, they have a city wage tax. Some towns have like a school tax and all this other stuff. And my thing is this, is that what ends up happening is they're consuming your money. And we keep voting for these people over and over and over. And my thing is this, is that what you got to look at is this. And there's two parts of what I'm getting ready to say. One is about that. One is about this illegal immigration. But what this part is that, these people are irresponsible with money. They don't know how to budget anything. Because the United States deficit is at $36 trillion and climbing on to $37 trillion. Now, if a city can't run on a low budget, and you ask yourself, and I can tell you right now, if I was running the city of Philadelphia, I would probably never win because I would be ready to cut jobs. Right? From the gate, I'll start cutting jobs. I know that a lot of the people that work for the city of Philadelphia and City Hall and stuff like that are not working. I know they're not working. I see it. I see the manipulation. I see like City of Philadelphia has like their own trash company and stuff like that. These guys be milking the clocks, not really working, getting overtime pay for stuff that they shouldn't be doing. When I say, to me, it looks like a criminal enterprise. It does not look like they're in. And all they keep trying to do is find more ways to extort the citizens out of more money. That's all it is. City of Philadelphia, me, is an extortion ring of criminals, all of them up in the city, in downtown Philadelphia. City Hall and stuff. I don't like none of them. They criminals, and that's the way I see it. Because I can't count where they actually did something that was great for the city that did not require them to consume more of the taxpayers' money. And they are irresponsible. And if you live in a town, you need to pay more attention and closer to what these people are doing. Because they will write laws and make rules and have you costing you more money. And then you wonder why California got homelessness and City of Philadelphia and all these cities got homelessness to the level that they have. And I'm not saying in all cases, because some people just want to be homeless. They're like, I don't want to deal with that. I've watched people get interviewed that was homeless. And a lot of them said, why would I want to live in a house, deal with going to work every day, paying bills and dealing? It was just too much for them. It was easier to them to live on the street than to deal with the life, the responsibility of life like that. So they didn't want a house. They don't want cars. They don't want that stuff. They was okay with where they're at. And listen, to some extent, I don't want that, but I can understand. Now, the other thing is this. Look how much these politicians are still fighting for these illegal immigrants. They're still trying to fight for the legal immigrants. Yep. Taxing the tax. They're still trying to fight for these illegal immigrants. Now, I had a conversation with somebody and they was like, well, I don't think everybody that's a legal immigrant, that's a I don't think all of them are criminals. I don't think they all should have to go back and whatever case may be. And I said, in my conversation with them, and I said, okay, you got to look at these people like you would look. Okay, cool. All right, Garcia, thanks. You got to look at you got to look at illegal immigration the same way you would look at, all right, have anybody ever had somebody come stay with you? Like, they fell on hard times and they come stay with you. Like, they come live in your house. And they don't go get a job. They don't go they're not bringing any type of resources in. But they are. What's up, Billy? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. And what they do is they start consuming everything that you have in your house. Yes. Me and you, we all agree with that one. You are definitely illegal, and you definitely, if you broke the law, you should go home. But this is the point that I'm trying to make to the person. You are, if they're in your house consuming the stuff that you bring in your house, how long? And maybe I'm just in this case, they actually invited them in, trying to help them, right? And they consuming everything that you have, food, water, everything else. How long you going to keep on consuming the expense of having them in your house? Right, him downstairs. Who the heck is him? Yeah, and then you gonna keep consuming. So imagine an uninvited person doing that. Now I'm just saying they invited them. But I said, but imagine somebody that wasn't invited to your house just come into your house and start consuming your resources. That's how you gotta look at immigration. They wasn't invited. Well, Joe Biden and them tried to sneak them over here, but I'm talking about they just rushed the border, came over here illegally, wasn't vetted, wasn't invited. We didn't want them here, and what happened? They're gonna keep on consuming all your resources. Yes. And Garcia, you're right. They was getting a tons of money. $5,000 hotel stays. Listen, I can't afford to stay in no hotel for no whole month. They was $6,000 to keep them in a hotel for a month. This is how I'm not gonna say irresponsible because I know why they're doing it. All right, they giving that money. That $6,000 it's going to the hotels, all right, but it's also going after just to some their cronies and they getting kickbacks out of it too. Yeah, they're staying at the hotel for free, but the government is paying the hotel company $6,000 a month of our money. $6K a month of taxpayers' money is paying for criminals to come over here and live in a hotel. None of us can't do that. And my thing is this listen, we had this, a lot of people had this reparation conversation about reparation. Now, me, I don't get into the conversation, but my thing is this. If y'all got $6,000 to hand to illegal immigrants who had nothing to do with this country, you could have just gave that to the black people that keep talking about reparation. Meanwhile, it's the Democratic Party that was doing it. Yep, you're right. And that's what was happening. So my thing is this. If you got $6,000 to pay for these hotels for all these illegal immigrants, giving them $5K on these cards, giving them food stamps, and all of this money, trillions of dollars that the country spent on this illegal immigration, right? Now, y'all didn't have the Democratic Party keep talking about reparations all this time. This is all I kept hearing from the Democratic Party. So it's the Democratic Party that was doing this. So if they were so hell-bent on giving black people reparations, why didn't they do it then? That's my point. They kept making this big deal, big statement. Oh, reparations, reparations. All right, so if the Democratic Party was so hell-bent on giving black people reparations, why did they take all that money and give it to illegal immigrants who provided nothing for this country? And this is how racist these people are. Then they'll turn around and say, well, who's going to cut our grass? And who's going to make our food? See, this is what I keep talking about. When I hear people talk about, oh, slavery was a horrible thing. Yes, it was. It was a very horrible thing. But don't sit there and but you are trying to get cheap labor from people that came from across the country so you can get your products good. So you don't realize you're saying you're okay with slavery. Not in the sense of what it used to be, but you want cheap labor. So your costs can be cheap. Yeah, you right, Chris Brew. And my thing is this. Just so this is how crazy this stuff sounds. All of that money that they was giving out, they did not do nothing for the people that they say they serve. and now they come like Chris said. Now they got having babies over here so they can become legal, have legal status over here. Meanwhile, that amendment in the Constitution had nothing to do with that. That amendment was for black people when they got rid of slavery, for them to become citizens in America. That was the birthright that they were talking about. It has nothing to do with that. But they're using it to try to pull one off because the Democratic Party know they're losing votes. And they're losing them by the thousands. So they're trying to bring in new voters and offering them welfare and stuff like they did to the black people for all these years. And they keep trying to do it. That's why I was glad Trump said he wanted to get rid of them. I'm glad he's deporting them all. I want every single one of them out of here. Because I know what they did was wrong. And like I said, if they cared that much, yes. And that's the other part. Billy, you talking about the sex trafficking, human trafficking. These people get money as you come over the border. Right, and that's my whole point. I don't even get into the argument of we should get reparations. What's up, out the pit? How you doing? God bless you, brother. What's up, first man? How you doing? God bless. I just got finished reading saying I don't even get into the conversation about reparations. But if the Democratic Party cared about their people that much, all of that money that they took and gave to these illegal immigrants, why didn't they give it to the voters that kept saying they wanted reparations? If you slick enough to pull it off to give it to illegal immigrants, why couldn't you be slick enough to pull it off to give it to the black community that y'all keep talking about should have reparations for? Nobody's talking about that. That goes to show you how racist the Democratic Party is. Now, here's the other thing they don't talk about. That $500 billion that was sitting there when Trump got out of office that was supposed to be for the black community. Yes, they are. Billy, you're right. They're bigots. That money that from the platinum plan that they had when Trump was about to leave office, there was $500 billion that was supposed to be targeted to the black community. Joe Biden and the Democratic Party took all of that money and gave that to illegal immigrants too. Right. Out the pit, you're absolutely right. Now they are getting, now it's up reparations. Oh, I voted for Trump. You follow my channel, you go down my channel, you're going to 100% know. I didn't just vote for Trump. I went and campaigned for Trump. And I was 100% all day long went and campaigned. I was out on the campaign trail for campaigning for Trump. It wasn't just I voted, I used my platform here, but I also, more so, I was on the ground. Well, unfortunately, Billy, I wasn't 3 times. But once I got my head into this, I realized that, oh, no, I'm on God's side, and I see what you're doing, God, and people ain't got to believe me, but this is where I was at. God, I see what you're doing. I see what you got to do. I'm 100% with it, and I'm going to do what I take, even if it means I got to be ridiculed, criticized, called names. It don't matter to me. I need to, in order for, I see you trying to use Trump to save this country. I see what they're trying to do, and I'm 100% on board with it. And that's what I did. I went. I was out on the boot and grind. I was a campaign. I went to the campaign. I was going to meetings and everything else. I didn't do a whole lot of talking about that on my live. But believe me when I tell you, I was campaigning. Yes, I appreciate it. Yeah, we love our guns out here. We love our guns. Listen, hold on 1 second. I want to show y'all something. Chill. Just so y'all don't think I'm bullcrap. What that look like right there? What that look like right there? I got it folded up neatly, but that's my Trump flag, Trump 2024, and I'm back. And my homie, one of my buddies, man, he got me I don't know where that thing is at. But my buddy, because he knew I was, really following, I don't know if y'all can see that. But that's JD Vance's book. My homie got me that. And he bought me it's somewhere around here. Hold up. And the people, I had somebody stop at my house, right? Because they seen me and they talked to me, gave me these. These are actually Trump socks. I don't know if y'all can see it over there and over here. They actually socks. I never took them out the pack. I'm not touching them. And then my buddy who bought me the book, Trump bobblehead doll. This is a 45. And I never even opened them. But my thing is this, is that yeah, and my thing is this, is that Leah, like, if they give out reparations, no, that's fine. It is what it is. And this is why I don't. I'm kind of in the middle with it. It's like this is where I feel about it. Like this is how I feel about it. If the United States government give black people reparations in America, I don't have no beef with that. I'm not gonna wait on it. I'm not gonna press the issue. I'm not gonna go campaign for it. They give it out, I'm taking it. But my point is, with all of the stuff that the Democratic Party has been wasting on illegal immigrants, and all of the stuff that they've been doing, and all of the money they've been stealing. Look at the money Nancy Pelosi has. Look at the money Obama has, the Bidens have, the Clintons have, and we keep voting for these type of people. They never ran no type of industry. They never ran no type of business. All of them have gotten multi wealthy off of being in politics, making up fake programs. Anybody on my live ever been helped by the Clinton Foundation? Like, I ask this question all the time. I don't know. I have never ran into one person, and I ask this question a lot, that has ever been helped by the Clinton Foundation. Now, I ran into many people. I said, have you ever been helped by the Red Cross? Yes. People, even FEMA. But I don't know nobody that has ever been helped by the Clinton Foundation. Yeah, Lee, I agree with you because I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know because how would that work? Like, how much black did you have to be and how far you have to go back? Because what people don't know, I don't know how they would even figure out who gets and who don't. But hey, out the pen, at least they got 700 from FEMA. You ain't getting it. I don't know nobody been helped by the Clinton Foundation. I can tell you like this: there's a lot of people that I don't even know that the Clintons have a foundation, let alone been helped by it. And listen, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Philadelphia, north side of Philadelphia. That's considered what they consider the hood. And my thing is this: is that you know I watched the city of Philadelphia, the politicians take advantage of their citizens. And believe me when I tell you that it is the black community that has been gotten the worst bun of it. But it's the very same politicians that are match our skin color that's doing it to us. And that's what I mean by Christopher. I don't know nobody that has ever been helped by the Clinton Foundation. I can't find one person. And I've asked hundreds, thousands. I keep asking this question because I want to know who got helped by the Clinton Foundation. Yep, they are. They still recovering. Now I know J.D. Vance went down to North Carolina, and he was doing a lot of work down there, put them in apartments and stuff like that. Right. And here's the thing: we as citizens of America, we have to stop sitting back and allowing them to just keep doing it. That's where the problem is at. And we got to stay out of identity politics. We got to really pay attention and deep dive into what these people are. Look at their intentions. You can't, you're not going to know 100% what their intentions are. But we have to be a lot more selective in who we vote for. Yes, you're right. And that's how I feel. Like, when I grew up in North Philly, most of the people I grew up around is black. That's just the way it was. It wasn't like, oh, okay, I got a lot of white friends or something like that. My kids, yeah, Leah, you right. You know that's my phrase. I call them Democrats. I can't Democrats. No, they Democrats. You're absolutely right. That's my phrase too. I call them Democrats. And you, Mike, in the building. What's up? God bless you, bro. God bless you. That's Mike. You know we right there. That's how we feel. I'm Republican until further notice. Meaning, if the Republican Party go cuckoo, guess what? I'm bailing out of them too. I'm bailing out of them too. Real talk, real talk. I'm bailing out of them too. But yeah, it's like we have to be a lot more selective. And this part right here is not so. My reason for voting down the Republican line, for those that haven't been on this live, please hit the like button. My reason for voting down the Republican line, y'all all know that's be on the live that we all interact and talk with each other. And the people that's on my lives a lot is because I wanted to try to make Trump's job easy enough to pull up the plan because I like his ideas and I wanted them. And in order for me to get him to execute that, not only did I vote down party lines, the people that I talked to, I told them, if you vote down party line because we need to get enough Republicans in Congress so that when he get these things, he can get it passed. And my thing is this, even now that we got midterms coming up, I'm going in. If these politicians, if they're a rogue Republican, they probably won't get my vote. But I'm going down midterm, all Republican. And my reason for voting that is because I need y'all to do the right thing because we only got 4 years possibly to get this job done. So we need to flip it even more red so that we can finish executing it as fast as possible what Trump is trying to do. Because for the vast majority of us, that is more his plan is more beneficial. The Democrat Party, the only thing they want to do is offer you an opportunity to off your baby and smoke weed. Yes. And that's the only thing the Democratic Party is offering you is to off your baby, smoke more weed, get high. And before I switched my Republican, but before that I was other. But I still voted down Republican lines. I just actually changed my registration to Republican now. Because I want to make sure I'm be able to vote in any election. Any election locally, whatever, I want Republican all the way through the board. I'm done with the Democrats. And they showing themselves even worse than I thought they were. Because how in the world could y'all not get up there Republicans? Here's the thing. They all keep bringing up January 6th. I can't count how many times they talk. Oh, what about January 6th? January 6th. Okay. Unfortunately, somebody died on January 6th when that happened. And a window got broke. You know what I mean? Now, but when they act like January 6th was this horrible insurrection, and it wasn't. But they will never talk about Black Lives Matter. Like they act like that never happened. But let's go past that. Right now, they're out there tearing up again. And not one, you don't see none of these Democrat Party out there now, politicians saying, stop, don't do that, that's wrong. Y'all got time, this AOC and Bernie Sanders got time to sit up there and lie that y'all having a rally for 34,000 people who are the very same people that was running around with Kamala Harris acting like y'all have all these big people coming and you don't. Why y'all not up there talking about stop it? That's not what we about. Unless you're really about that. Unless you're really about that. And that is my point. Y'all keep saying y'all don't want that, but y'all keep talking. But that y'all got y'all people, y'all liberals and y'all Democrats all out there tearing up people's personal property, all in the name of all y'all hate Trump because y'all the ones keep acting like he's saying he's Hitler. It's the Democratic Party. It's the Democratic Party that keeps saying he's evil, he's corrupt, he's mean, he's this, he's that, and y'all provoking these people to want to do this stuff because they think they're doing something right when they don't realize that they're being manipulated by through anger and through that provoking their emotional anger. I like the head of the FBI. I don't know as much about him as I should have known, wish I known, but so far I like him. And listen, we're not going to get perfection out of none of these people. They're going to make some mistakes. They're going to do this. But my thing is this. If a person is doing 85% of their stuff they're doing and they're doing right, and maybe there's some stuff that's just a little off or whatever, you don't throw away everybody like that. I use the example like a car. Like if you're driving your car and okay, one day you got this nice, clean, nice, cool ride, but maybe you get a little ding in it. You don't get rid of the car because it got a little ding. If it runs good and it's very well and it's reliable, and for the most part, it's a great car. Okay, you got a little ding, got a little scratch. You can't live like that. You can't let all these little things take your mind off the big picture. What's up, bad goat? How you doing? And my thing is this, and when you start talking about like, okay, he said somebody, when you say, and my thing is this, if you look at when Black Lives Matter, Maxine Waters was out there talking about, she was literally up there talking about tear it up, tear it up, tear it up, tear it up. Like she was provoking tear it up. And she didn't go to jail for that. And that's my whole point. They do it on their side all the time and getting away with it, even now. Yeah. let me tell you something, man. Jasmine Crockett, like, don't get me wrong. I know, this might not be. When she made that wheelchair statement, I laughed. I ain't gonna lie, I laughed. I laughed. But my thing is this. But then she threw some other stuff on there saying he was a hot mess, and I was like, okay, that part was just too far. Now, the only reason why I say you can't be too sensitive because if you look at the Republican side, Trump said a lot of stuff about a lot of people. Like he called Ron DeSantis the sanctimonious. He called Galvin Newsom. So we can't be so sensitive when people make jokes. But it's so much stuff that she does that makes her unqualified, disrespectful, and extremely ghetto. It's not just that joke. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be like, oh, I would never vote for her. I don't know how she got to where she at. I feel like whoever voted for her and put her where at, they really wasn't paying attention to what she was. And my thing is this: if you look at her a while back, she didn't even talk the way she's talking right now. This is how disrespectful she is to black people. If you go back and look at how she used to talk, she talked like a white woman. Yeah. And she talked like a white woman almost. Now all of a sudden she got this ghetto so-called swag, whatever you want to call it. That woman she's slow and she's stupid. She don't know she do not know what she's doing politically. And I laugh when I see people in comments and stuff. She say something, oh, she gonna be this, she gonna be the next. I'm like, shut up. Woman stupid. I be out of your mind, y'all vote for her. And the thing about it is what she's trying to do. She's trying to act like she's a female version of Trump. If you really pay attention to what she's doing, she's trying to act like a female version of Trump. Because she's trying to criticize and say, she's trying to act like she say what she want to say when she want to say it. She don't care about how nobody feel about it. Man, hey, look. Now, if you go look at her history, she's supposed to be a lawyer, right? Her law firm only supposedly only made about $25,000. How did she get the multi-millions that she got already? How did she get the multi-millions she got already? There is nothing professional about that woman. So it's not even about so much about the joke. The joke was, to me, when I heard it, it was funny. Because I like comedy. So that's it. I don't take stuff, everything fragile, like, you know what I mean? I like comedy. Now, it was a little more to the joke for me because I was strolling through stuff and I don't know if y'all ever I don't know if y'all ever seen the wheelchair that this guy made this. He invented, he spiced up his wheelchair and it goes up to 65 miles per hour. And I think it's more of a coincidence. But when I flipped up after she said what she said, that wheelchair thing came up after the fact. And there's a guy in the wheelchair, he's going 65 miles per hour. So for me, it just made it more funny because I hear her say Hot Wheels and then the next page is somebody in some Hot Wheels. So it just kind of, it went a little more funnier for me. But like if you ever Google some 65 miles per hour wheelchair, it will probably come up. But that's why I was away. But outside of that part, there's no way in the world. Why would anybody vote for her? She's stupid. She said, if you listen to what she said about illegal immigration, they're not criminals. You do know you used illegal immigration before you said they're not criminals. But you still, this is what I mean. And a lot of these people don't even know the job responsibility of what they got elected for. They say their job is to uphold the Constitution, right? Now, if your job is to uphold the Constitution and you let that border open and an invasion happen, everybody should be fired. Everybody. President on that. Everybody that's an elected official that let that go down should have been removed from office. Because that's a violation of your oath to protect America. Y'all violated it. In my book, everybody should have been fired. As soon as that invasion happened, everybody in Washington should have lost their job. The United States military should have came in and got everybody out of office. And we would have had a bunch of elections, start putting new bodies in there because it was an embarrassment. And that's how I feel about it. That was an embarrassment. I'm looking at them storming the gate. I'm not like, wait a minute. If you would have tried that in any other country to storm the gate and come across that border, the military would have been right there and said, that would have been like they looking like, oh, the British are coming. That's what that looked like. You as a leader of the country, you just let it happen. And then the worst part of it is you shoved them in the very people's face that you say you serve. You didn't care nothing about your voters and the people that you serve in your city. You shoved them there. You put them when Texas sent them to Martha's Vineyard, where all the rich Democrats live. What did the Democrats do with them? When they sent these illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, what did the Democrats do? Put them back on the bus and sent them to New York to the black and brown people. Put them in Philadelphia, Chicago, and they kept doing it. Oh, these are sanctuary cities. Sanctuary city was supposed to have been for black people when they were trying to escape slavery. How was that for them? That's what sanctuary city was for. Once again, they keep saying they're for the black community, but they keep doing what they're doing, and it's not for the black community. Sanctuary city was for slaves who was trying to get going somewhere free. They were free slaves trying to escape to sanctuary cities. But then they turned around and let illegal immigrants take full advantage of the very thing that black slaves fought for. And their ancestors didn't fight for none of that. This is how much the Democrats care about the people that they say they serve. They gave them benefits from what your ancestors, if you black and you was in this country, and your ancestors in this country, they gave them the benefit that illegal immigrants, they gave them the benefits that you had the birthright to. They letting them benefit from what your ancestors paid. Exactly. Exactly. What's up, CMI? You doing? God bless you. Welcome in. And this is what I keep talking about. None of that was for the illegal immigrants. That was all of those battles was hard fought battles of black people fighting through slavery and fighting through all of that stuff, trying to make it through sanctuary cities where they were safe and they could live their life. And these Democrats, who is a KKK, and I keep calling them this, I don't care what color they skin are. That don't matter no more. It's them and us. And what did they do? They took them all and gave them right, put them into the community, and let them benefit from what black slaves had. The children of black slaves supposed to have. They gave it to illegal immigrants. And you know what happened? They did not. And these politicians don't care 2 cents about their voters. They care about their pockets, and that's why they hate what's happening right now. That's why I'm tying this together. This is why they cannot stand what Doge is doing. Because it's cutting off their resource. That's why they have fits right now and they're losing their mind and they're going crazy because they're cutting off the resource to continue to keep pulling this off. This is what they're doing. And you know what? Now that they're losing that ground, you know what they do? They go back to the same playbook. Oh, let's go back out there and start recruiting more black people into the same mess again. Oh, Trump's going to take away this, and Trump's going to take away that. Trump's going to take away. But guess what? Trump is trying to get rid of these illegal immigrants out of black and brown neighborhoods. Is this where they're at? So why would a racist person do that? Why would somebody, if Trump was racist, why would he go into Chicago and all these sanctuary cities and remove the criminal element out of your city if he didn't care about black and brown people? He would have said, let them stay. Let's go live our life. We good. That's their problem, not ours. They ain't in our neighborhood. They're in the black and brown neighborhood. Hispanic neighborhood. Why would he do that if he didn't care? Make it make sense to me. That's why I keep telling people. I said, if they really pay attention, a lot of what Trump is doing is more beneficial to the black and Hispanic community than it is for any community because we're the ones dealing with it. They're not. Because I'm going to tell you what would have happened. If you would have took these people and you sat them in those type of things, they would have ran them out there themselves. Matter of fact, once they got there, they would have been so uncomfortable, they'd say, no, we got to go. These people going to kill us. They ain't, no, we can't stay here. They knew where to send them at. They knew that the black and Hispanic community would allow it to happen because we don't stand up for what's right no more. We were told so many times that this country don't love us, this country don't care about us, and the reason why they keep embedded in your brain so you can think that this is not your country. And that's why I tell everybody, no, this is my country. And everything that this country has to offer, it's mine and I ain't want it. You're not going to tell me this ain't my country. I ain't got no beef with Africa, but I ain't worried about Africa. I wasn't born in Africa. I'm right here in America. So you're not going to make me think that this is not my country. Why would I hate the place I live and eat and food and grow at? I make my money here. And you trying to tell me I'm supposed to hate it? Be out of your mind. No. And that's what I keep trying to tell black people and Hispanic. Stop letting them tell you that stuff. Because every time you think about that, you're going to unmotivate yourself to get all of the stuff that America had. No one should come from another country and succeed past the people that's already here. Either you don't appreciate what you have or you're not paying attention to what's there. And then someone else is willing to jump on an inner tube and come across the sea to get what you got here, you got to be out of your mind. You let somebody tell you that. They see it, why you can't see it? If someone is willing to go through all of that craziness to get in this country, you should see it that way. Why they can see it from afar that America is great and they're willing to die down there to get here, and you live here and you can't see that this is a great country. You got to be out of your mind. You stupid. You got to be out of your mind. You got to be stupid. I don't see nobody fighting to get to no other country like they fight to get to America. So when someone sit there and say, oh, it's this country great and that country, they're not fighting to get over there like they're trying to get over here. And CM, I feel you on that one. I feel you. God bless your kids. What's up? And that's my point, Billy. I know I was going on and on, you know what I mean, but I was just, but y'all get my point. It don't make sense to me. They keep trying to tell you, these Democrats always trying to tell you, oh, America's racist. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know America got some racist people, but that's my whole point. Yeah, we got some racist people, but it's like this. I'm 52 years old, and guess what? I can count on one hand how many racist incidents I've experienced in 52 years. But guess how many fingers I need to count how many times somebody of my same skin color did me dirty? And I'm not saying that we the worst. I'm just saying I got to worry about more closer things than just racism. Because even when like I tell you, I told the story a while back. I said if I work somewhere and I sense that that's what type of mentality that they have, oh, I'm not going to work there. You're not going to take advantage of my hard work, my dedication, my loyalty, my commitment, because I'm always on time. I'm always there every day. And I said, if I work for somebody and I see that they take a company and I see that they in that racist game, I take myself out the equation. Because you ain't going to find a whole lot of workers like me. I know you're not. Because I'm top dog in whatever I decide to do. If I work for you, you're gonna get the best of the best. I might not start out as the best, but that's my number one goal when I get there is to be better, as best as I can possibly be if you paying me. Because I don't want to make the assumption that you can't afford to pay me. So my job is to make sure that my labor is extremely profitable so you can afford to pay me when it's time to get paid. And that's just my mentality. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be there before time. I'm going to work my behind off. And I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure your business is good. So when it's come time to pay me, I don't want no excuses. But if you got that racist and that type of mentality and I see it, I might give you, I'm like, yo, this is what y'all about? Oh, yeah? Okay. Oh, y'all can count me out. I'm out of here. Because the best thing I can do is take myself out of the equation. And I know how much it's going to cost you to try to replace a worker like me. Because I know what value I bring to a company. I'm not that lazy guy that sits up in the bathroom all day long. I'm not that guy that takes 17, 18 breaks all day long. I'm that guy that when I come to work, I put that work in. So when I'm going, you're going to miss me. And I'm not even going to say a whole lot of words. I'm like, all right, I see what y'all about. I just let you know I won't be here no more. I'm good. Oh, no. I gave y'all time to fix it. And, y'all thought it was, y'all thought I wasn't serious. I don't need to work here. I need to work. I need to make money, but I don't need to work here. I can find that money somewhere else. I might hurt a little bit, but there's some things I'm just not going to tolerate. You know what I'm saying? And that's, yep, yep. And that's it. And that's real talk. That's real talk. And my thing is this is that and in this world, if you got skill and you got a talent and you master whatever it is that you do, that's rare. That is rare. And that is rare. If you're good at what you do, that's rare. And people don't realize how rare that is. But that's rare. If you're a master at what you do, that's rare. And my point to this is that, okay, I'm not there watching top to bottom make the candles, right? But y'all see me earlier when I was ripping and raving about the candle. Now, in my mind, I don't have to be there watching them make the candle. The results is in the candle. Said to myself, I said, whoever they made this candle, they put time, effort, and love and concern into this candle. Now, here's my point. The person that lit the candle used to make candles. You know what they did when they took that candle? They picked the jar and they start turning it around. And I know top to bottom know exactly what I'm talking about. And they looking at the jar like this. And they was like, wow, there's no water markings in here at all. And and they was impressed. They was impressed. So that's my point. My point is, and I don't have to be there. The quality is in the work. It was very well packaged. When they put it in that box, whoever put it in that box, they made sure that it was protected like a baby inside of a womb. Make sure it didn't get hurt and broken. They did everything they could do to protect it. I don't have to question that part. I see. They put that nice cork and the rope around it, and they packaged it nice. It was a very well. That means that it was a lot of love and concern put into that candle. So my thing is this: from opening up the package and looking at the actual product to burning it and smelling it outside my house, that's quality. It's like when you ride down the street and you see somebody doing some construction that's like unique type of stuff. I ain't talking about this some of these crap houses they build. I'm talking about something more on the unique side. Or if you look at some old buildings that they did back in the day that's still standing and stuff, you see how much craftsmanship went into it. That's what makes people stand out from every average person. And if you don't have that mentality when you go into what you're doing, you're going to end up being one of those average people, and then you're going to be mad at this stuff because you're going to say, you know what, I should have put everything into this. You're right, CM. You're right. You're absolutely right. We need to go back to the basics. And we got to go back to, all of this identity stuff and color stuff and the stuff that does not make people great in what they are. Like, people don't understand competition is great. Competition is healthy. Now, here's the thing. Now, she said, top to bottom, said that they used to play soccer. They was playing soccer with the boxers to make them. Now, here's the thing. I work in shipment and shipping. I used to, for the company that I used to work for years ago, when we come in, we bring in new product, I did all of the designing, package design, planning. Everything that we got in, package-wise, I was the one who made sure that, figured out how the best way to package and created the system so that we can get the right amount of packaging that doesn't cost too much, protect the product as well as possible, and it's professionally before it's sent out. Now, top to bottom don't know that about me. But that's what I did. If it was phone, I designed how it was going to be packaged. And we used to send out flower pots, all types of stuff. All types of stuff. And I designed all the package. To the point where we would ship stuff through we would ship stuff. The company I used to work for, we used to send stuff through HomeDepot.com. We used to send stuff through Wayfair. And we used to send stuff through Amazon. Right? All of the product that we got in there, I created every single system on how it was going to get packaged, and then I had to train everybody on how to package so that we could have a very fast way putting it together and getting it out the door. Weight and all. Everything from the size of the boxes down to how it's going to get packaged, what package going to use, how it's going to go in the box, and make sure it's not only packaged right, but fast and efficient. That's what's up, girl. See, we all got a lot of stuff alike. But that is my point. Is that, so when I see somebody package something, I can tell when I pick the package up whether you care how it got here or not. Joyce, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Well, Joyce, I know you already subscribed, but you know how it is. Got to say the slogan all the way. Okay, that's what's up for ATL Industries. So Garcia, you understand where I'm going at. And whenever we had companies that were trying to sell you like different packaging and stuff like that, the owner of the company didn't even care. He's like, well, they would send him to the warehouse to come talk to me. Well, you got to talk to him. And if he say, because he trusted my judgment. Now, I'm not the boss. Listen, I am not the manager. I'm not the boss. They were trying to make me the supervisor, but I didn't want that neither. I just wanted to work. I'm fine. No, I don't need titles. Just pay me. That's all I care about. But they would, send products there and stuff like that and say, oh, we want to figure this out and figure this stuff out. And my boss was like, what do you think about that? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a small company, they was growing. And I remember he was like, well, they wanted to rent me a shrink wrap machine. We didn't have a shrink wrap machine. We was, manhandling the shrink wrap. If you know what that means. Right. So it's like, and so that's what I mean by that. We in America, I would love to see us get back to the point where we take pride in what we do. Now I'm not saying none of us do, but made in the USA should mean something. That should be top dog. And that's real talk. And that's why, when Trump started talking about bringing back manufacturing, bringing back this, then bringing back that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Sure, we manhandled that shrink wrap. My boss was like, we're going to get a shrink wrap machine. And don't get me wrong, the company, yes, they do. Because the quality has to be in there. Yes, that's what Chicago is. If you look at Chicago, that's where a lot of the cars and stuff was made and stuff like that. And my thing is this, we should be the powerhouse of the world. So when I hear these talking about tariffs and all the stuff going to go, I don't want to get it from other countries as much as possible. I want us to make it right here. And I want American citizens to be able to get the best jobs possible right here. Yeah, I agree. I try to question it, but there's so much stuff made from everywhere else, it's hard to find it in America. And 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 here's the thing. I It's hard to find stuff. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, Garcia. I know we gonna have to wait this one out for a while. I think it's gonna happen a little faster than maybe we think. But again, this is what I mean by it should be made. Quality should be in America. We should be number one top dog in everything that we do. Real talk. We should not have to be like, oh, and most of the stuff you get from these other countries is junk anyway. Half of it break up before you can even use it. Before you can even use it. And my thing is just, our country, America should be the best of the best. And we need to get back to making sure we got the best carpenters, the best plumbers, best engineers, the best quality of everything that we do, real talk. Billy, I'm sorry, I'm down here reading what you was, I guess you was on the other live at one point, and the comment came up and I happened to read it over there. Oh man. Yeah, I ain't gonna sit there and hold you. I'm not the best speller at all. And Billy wrote down there about he had contracted, but he's not the best speller. I'm not the best speller at all neither. Now, when you start talking about math, that's my stronger point. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big shopper at all, but I just I don't if I don't mind paying for quality. If I got the money, I'd rather pay for quality. Be quality gonna last. It ain't gonna go. Quality is gonna last. It's just gonna last. My thing is this: you look at some of the old cars that America used to build, and the thickness of the metal, like the steel that they used to use, and the thickness of the metal, and it took these cars years to rust out. Now, what was my first car? Um, I don't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing. It didn't last long. My first car was a Ford Pinto. Oh man. Yeah, they plastic now. Joyce, what was your first car? My first car was a Ford Pinto. It didn't last long. So I don't really consider that to be my. It didn't last long. So all right, I paid, how much I paid for that car? I think I paid $100 for that car. Might have been $100. Now after that, I paid $80. A guy sold me a Mustang for $80. I know I'm sitting there thinking $80 for a car that runs. Yep, it was a Mustang. It was a small Mustang though. It was like the real small one. Like they made these one Mustangs that was like I guess they was having but it was actually a pretty good car. But it was a Mustang. My second car was a Mustang. It was a white Mustang. 66 Dodge Coronet. Wow. We showing our age. I don't even know your age, Joyce, but you said 66. Man. Then I mean I've had quite a few cars in my younger years. Yeah, pay $80,000 for a bunch for some fancy plastic. Oh man, I'm taking me back. I had quite a few cars. Now, then I had a Chrysler Cordoba. I liked that car. That was a really nice car. I had a Chevy Blazer. I'm talking about like way back cars. I ain't talking about like these cars are like 80s and older. I used to have a Ford Granada. Oh man, I just seen somebody on a mechanic shop. They had a Datsun 280 sitting out there. An old Datsun 280. I don't know what year it was, but it was old. The one with the real long pointed front. It's a Datsun. I think it's a Datsun 280. ZX 280 ZX, something like that. Oh, now you know what I didn't have it. I had a Chevy Malibu. That was a 70. What was it? 72, 73. That was the first time I really decided to start tinkling with a car. Okay, okay, okay. My Chevy Malibu was the first time I decided to tinkle with a car. Okay, you had a Cutlass. Yeah, I had a Chevy Malibu that had a 350 in it. This is when I actually started tinkling with it. I took off the intake and I changed the carburetor on there. I went from a 2 barrel to a 4 barrel. I put dual exhaust on it. I put a positive rear in it, and I put a shift kit inside the transmission. I had a 400 transmission. I forget what it, but it was I had a 600. I had a 650 4 barrel Harley carburetor I put on there, and I put a shift kit in my It was an automatic transmission with a shift kit in it, and that car used to get up. That's the first time I started tinkling with some cars, and actually did some stuff on it myself. I actually did the body work on it. This was me practicing. Did the body work on it, and I got to the point where I primed it up. Yeah, but I had a V8 and 350 Chevy 350 engine in it, and it used to get had dual exhaust on it. I never got the chance to paint it though. What happened was I got it to the point where it was prime, and in the city of Philadelphia, it's a city, whatever the case be. Somebody came around the corner and it was like ice out everywhere. They came around the corner and just totaled it, like tore it up. My heart broke. 'Cause I put my heart in that was my pride because I had my hands in this one. So it was like, but it hurt my heart to see that thing get messed up. And it was to the point where it was beyond repair. Yeah, oh yeah, it was a gas guzzler. It definitely was a gas guzzler. It was a ticket getter too. That's when I learned to stop speeding. Yeah, well, yeah, it was about $1.50 a gallon, something like that back then. But then but that wasn't the worst gas guzzler I had. I had a Dodge Ram 2500 V10, extended cab, 8 foot bed. Had the V10, had the Viper motor in it. V10 Viper motor in it. The same motor they have in the Viper, the 96 Viper, 97 Viper, that V10 Magnum. I had that in my truck, and I had I had a turbo put on it. Had dual pipes done to that one too. I put some work in there. Not I had it done. I wasn't doing it myself. And I had a dyno at about a little more than 500 horsepower once it was all said and done. What, 442? Yeah, I don't. That V10, that man. When I say that thing used to roll, that truck used to roll. Man, that thing was fast. It'd be a big 6,000 pound vehicle, 6,500 pound vehicle. But when I say that thing got up, it got up. See that? But see now, we all sitting there talking about old cars, right? None of us probably will touch a car right now and try to fix it. There's too much stuff going on that you don't even need in the car. Now, most of us probably don't even tell. We probably won't even change our own oil now. Like I ain't getting under there doing that. But yeah, I'm those. And sometimes I get to the point like if it wasn't for the fact that I do a lot of other stuff, I probably would be up under there still changing my oil, trying to change my oil, changing my brakes and stuff like that and stuff like that. But it just it's too much. Yeah, it wasn't nothing to change. Like alternator go bad, I got it. I ain't worrying about it. That that was a couple of hungry or two. Alternator go bad in your car. That was a couple of homies getting together. We're gonna be out there just joking around and stuff. Now, our alternator gonna get done and it's gonna get fixed, but we're gonna have a whole lot of conversation in the process. It's gonna be the funnest alternator replacement you're gonna ever see in life. And that was the difference between now and then. Everybody's just on this, I don't know. That was why like I like yeah, I don't I don't like the way they make these cars. I mean, we stuck with them because that's what they make. But if I had the money to get me an old car and just maybe some of the newer stuff, but that body of the old car, I would go back in a minute. Yeah, exactly. But see, that's what kept people together. That's what kept people communicating and talking and stuff like that. That was the difference between then and now. Now, yeah, exactly. And it's sad that we live in a time where you can't trust nobody to help you and stuff like that. You can't even trust nobody to come in your house unless you really, 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 really know them. Because you don't know what their intentions are. Yep, because they jealous that you have it. You're right. That's sad. It's sad. Like I know I don't get if I see something that somebody has that I don't have, I want to know the story of how you got there. I'm gonna be and then I'm like, oh, okay, let's just and hope. I mean, it don't mean I have to have it because I'm not that type of person, but I like to hear the story of how you got it. Like especially if it's something that's maybe a rare. I want to hear the story of how you got it. Yeah, you're right. It's hard to even trust family to some extent. If I know you're a thief, you ain't coming to my house. I don't care if you family or not. No, I'm good. You stay where you at. I come visit you. At least when I leave, your stuff will still be there. No, you can't visit me. Why you don't never invite me over? We good. Nah, I'll come see you. Yeah, I'm not gonna call you a fool, but what you said. Yeah, if there was a car that I wish I would have kept, it probably would have been my Chrysler Cordoba. I mean the Malibu too, but I'm gonna say with my Chrysler Cordoba, I liked that one a little more. That one was actually pretty fast too. I just never changed the carburetor, but I had a 400. A Chrysler 400. The motor was a V8 with a 400. Yeah, and see, Joyce, you sitting there talking about all these mechanics. Garcia, he's talking about all the mechanics. 78 colors. My brother used to have a it was a Cutlass. It wasn't a Cutlass Supreme. Yeah, it was an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. My brother, yeah, he had Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. He had the air shocks on the back where it lifted up real high. Like the car like this. Oh man, the big fat tires in the back, skinny tires in the front with the air shocks where you go and pump your shocks up and lift them up. Okay, CM. Yeah, my brother had that. Oh man, it used to be funny, man. My brother be like, you can't even see out the back window. Your back window up too high. How you gonna see? Can't even back up. Taking 15 minutes to parallel park because you can't see out the back of the car because it's up too high. Oh, I know. I know. Oh man. Yeah, my brother used to have a Cutlass Supreme back of it, and that's funny. That is funny. That is funny. But yeah, man. Yeah, Leah, we still here. We talk about. Leah, I don't know how old you are, so this conversation might be weird for you because we talk about old school cars right now. We didn't got off of politics and we didn't start talking about some crazy stuff like, yeah. See that? I mean, man, I remember the first time I got power windows. I didn't know what to do with myself because I was. That's why back in the day we was. I think everybody was in shape back then because you rolling the windows up, you feel like you jumping rope in the car. Oh, okay, Lynn. I, man, back in the day, man, that's why we had to. That's why I told somebody. I said, man, my generation, our generation. If you around my age, our generation, we invented all the great stuff. Cause we was tired of working our behinds off. You think about it. The internet came from our generation. Our generation invented the internet. Our generation invented the cell phone. Right. Our, our generation invented a lot of stuff. Man, listen. All right, so since we talking about old stuff, when we can go, we gonna go in. Man, like, did anybody had a mom like we had, like I had, that didn't ever want to turn the TV? Exactly. If your car went in the water, you roll that joint down. You can't do nothing to go in the water now. You done. It's a wrap. But like my mom, my my mom used to make. My mom was one of those moms. Now, don't get me wrong. That oh man, my mom was one of those moms that didn't want to get up and turn the TV. Like literally, before we got remote control, my mom was one of those moms that did not like to turn the TV. Now, let me tell you how bad it was. We be outside playing. The TV is closer to my mom than coming outside and calling us in the house to go turn the TV. Exactly. The children. My mom would call us in the house. Yeah, mom, what you want? Turn the TV. I'm like, you right off the couch to come to the door to tell us to come to the house to turn the TV. I'm like, but then I had to realize why she would do it. Because then we only had what, 3, 4 channels that worked, and that TV had like 120 stations. Yep, and you didn't have no antenna. You had the hanger. Like we had the hanger in the TV because the antenna got broke. Rabbit ears turned into antenna ears, and my mom would make us come in the house and turn the TV. I'm like, you could have just turned the TV. And now you get, but we would have them old TVs that had the knob that did not work. The knob is missing now. All the knobs off the TV. So you got the pliers or grip pliers like this. You got pliers to turn the TV, and then the TV didn't go backwards. So if you miss that one, like if you turn, let's say channel 10, and you click, 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 and you go to 11, you mad because now you gotta go all the way around to 120 again. Yeah, aluminum foil on there, man, please. We was inventive. I don't care what nobody say. We was the first generation that filled out. If you found out that if you bump the TV just right, it'll work right. When it starts snowing and stuff, and boom, hit the TV, straight right up. Man, I said, man, he said, I ain't turning the TV. Right. That's the only time we can Joyce. My mom was, my mother was relentless with calling you in the house and then put you back out the house because you got now the TV is where she want to watch. And then she be like, oh, I don't want to watch that. Keep turning. That was the worst thing I wanted to hear. She be like, I don't want to watch that. Keep turning. And I'm like, come on, mom. We was in the middle of a good basketball game outside. Now I'm in the house turning the TV. Now my team out there losing. Yeah, man. We grew up in the weird man. We grew up in the weird. I mean, we grew up in a time when it was fun though, man. Now, if you was one of those people that got the big screen TV, like the real big TVs, and everybody came to your house to watch a movie because you got the big giant television, not like flat screens like we have, you know, with the big butt on the back of it, the floor model with the wheels, and that real big TV, man, you thought you was saying something you had one of them. And that was one thing I hated was my mom make me turn it, and the other thing I hated was dialing that phone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could not stand that rotary phone. I'm gonna tell you. Oh wow, you had one of those with the record player and the two speakers on the side. Oh, y'all was rich. Y'all see, y'all was rich. Y'all had the TV with the record player and all the two side speakers, the wooden jaw where you lift up the wood jaw, and you had the two speakers with the crisscross grid wood in there. Oh, y'all was rich. From some kind of way. Y'all had money. Man, I couldn't stand rotary phone. Because rotary phone was just like that TV. That TV, when you missed that knob and you got tired of them, and it was only 7 numbers. But if you had that rotary phone, you put your finger in the wrong spot and you go like this, and then you gotta hang it up and start all over again. I hated rotary phones. I'm like, Mom, don't pay the phone bill no more. We don't need no phone. Tired of using that thing. They don't have phone booths no more. All of us old people on this live reminiscing about what we used to grow up with. But it was fun. It was fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoyed a lot of it. Why? I had a phone. Man, I hated that rotary phone. I hate it. I think that's probably why I'm like I am about phones anyway. I hated rotary phone. I hated them. Anybody ever had the brick? See if anybody remember what the brick was. That first cell phone called the brick. Well, that was like the. I think that was like the original cell phone. They used to call it the brick. It was like after the car phone. Remember we used to have car phones. Everybody thought, people, ain't nobody really have a lot of car phones. Car phones didn't really. Now I ain't know. Guess what? I never had a beeper. Oh wow, man. I never had a beeper. I remember the brick phone. Matter of fact, I am not lying to you. I think the guy's name was John. This was probably about maybe 10 years ago. He still had a brick phone. He was using it. He was still using it. I was like, how is that possible? How is that functioning on any network? That ain't supposed to work. But he had a brick phone and he was still using it. I couldn't believe it. That was like 10 years ago. I was like, that's unbelievable. He had the brick phone with the little small, it was about that big, whatever, but he had it still had that little flip thing on the bottom of it, and it still was there. I was like, wow. Wow, yeah, I know. I mean, I guess as everybody got cell phones now for the most part, but what if your cell phone don't work? And it ain't nothing for a cell phone not to get a signal. And if your cell phone don't get a signal where you at, the people with you probably ain't gonna get a signal neither. Probably not gonna get a signal neither. But you know what? I better get up off this live. We've been on here for a while, y'all. But I'm enjoying it. I really did. I really did. But I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get in trouble. I had so much fun though. I really did. I had fun. I love hanging out with y'all. Y'all, especially my regulars, man. We be having a ball. The conversation might start out political, but we always end up talking about something totally different. Real talk. I will, Garcia, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I will. I'll check it out, man. But like I always say, man, before we get off this live, I always tell you, if you don't have Jesus Christ in your life, please get him. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about, but without Christ, we are nothing. And we need him in our life no matter what. And, for those that's on this live, please hit the like button. Please get to know God if you don't know God. That matters more than anything. And, I appreciate you guys really hanging out with me. I appreciate you, like, subscribe, share the video, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, we all on the mission to great things. That's right. Jesus saves. Yes, he does. And we need him. More so now than ever. We're going to always need him, but more so now than ever. And like I said, just, we all in this together, man. We gonna help make America great, one person at a time, and we working together on this, and we gonna have fun. We gonna have fun. We gonna have fun. America's on its way to greatness. God bless every single one of y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all very, very much. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Don't take y'all time for granted. Real talk. I really don't. And y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. And hopefully I get to see y'all Sunday at 11:30 if y'all get a chance to come in. Y'all holler. Peace.